So hi, I'm Keith.
I'm Brenda.
Welcome to Blue Planet Travel. Today we want to talk a little bit about things that you probably shouldn't bring on a cruise.
And there's quite a few.
There's a few. So here recently there was an instance where a gentleman was getting off the ship at Grand Turk in Turks and Caicos, and his bag was searched. And
I think it was a backpack.
His backpack was searched, and he had 2 rounds of ammunition from a hunting trip that he had taken, back here on land, but just happened to still have a couple rounds in his bag.
Probably purely accidental.
So they have pretty much no tolerance policy for guns and ammo in the Turks and Caicos. So that got him in quite a bit of trouble. The last we heard that he was awaiting trial, and it wasn't until June. Now this is the beginning of May right now. I think this happened at the end of April. This poor guy's sitting in a jail, in a foreign country because he forgot to check his bag.
Or it could be missed easily because some of those bullets are real tiny.
Yeah. So, I mean, something to watch out for. Honestly, it probably should have never made it on the ship.
Yes.
It should have got caught by security before he ever got on the ship. So that's kind of suspect there to me, why it didn't get caught in the first place. But there's many things like that can happen. We recently was in Grand Turk, and we did an interview with a really great lady officer there, and she gave us some hints on what not to bring.
Yep, she talked about marijuana.
So let's go to that video now, and we will come right back.
Okie dokie, we're still meeting new friends, and here we have a police officer here at the port, and her name is
Sharina.
Sharina. And how long have you been a police officer?
13 years.
13 years. So tell us a little bit about your island.
Well, here, this island name is Grand Turk. It's a part of the Turks and Caicos Islands. In the Turks and Caicos Islands, we have different islands, which is Providenciales, South Caicos, Middle Caicos, North Caicos, East Caicos, and Sol Key.
Not only is she a police officer, but look how beautiful she is.
Thank you.
So we're meeting so many new people. And
thank you.
So is there anything that you should give tips for people who are getting off maybe their first time and don't know about the port?
Okay, well, I think the most important tip that I should give is that whenever you embark here, I want you all to remember that cannabis, drugs is illegal here. Any type of drugs. Cannabis, cocaine, it's illegal. It's an arrestable offense where you could be arrested for it, so avoid bringing it here.
Well, you shouldn't have that on the ship anyway, and just don't do it. And just say no.
Yes, and if you have vendors or beach persons that are selling it, just remember that it's illegal, so do not buy it.
Well, you heard it from her. Don't buy it, don't do it. Well, thank you so much for your time and everything. And see, we're making so many new friends here. And come and experience what we get to experience. Talk to everybody. They're so sweet and they're so nice here. I just love it here.
We are friendly here.
They're just wonderful. So you deserve a great vacation. Let Blue Planet get you there. Bye for now.
So yeah, you definitely want to make sure you're complying with the local laws of wherever you're at. Being Americans, sometimes we take for granted when we go to other countries that they have the same laws as we do. But in fact, it can be completely different across the board. Like in this case, they have a no tolerance policy for that. Where here in America, we're open to keep and bear arms. Some of the other things that we talk about, like the marijuana. Earlier this year, I heard of a story where somebody had some CBD gummies that they were trying to bring on to a ship. Now, CBD gummies are, legal just about everywhere, but not on board the ship. The ships go by federal laws about marijuana and drugs, and the federal law states that marijuana is still illegal, even though the state laws vary from state to state. you know, just because you're from Colorado doesn't mean that you can go and get on a cruise ship going to Mexico or to, you know, Grand Turk or any of these other places where it's still illegal.
Well,
And
Carnival's really cracking down on that. Last time I went on Paradise with my sister, they had a dog sniff my bags, and they put a sticker on it that said it was approved.
yeah, you know, in different countries, I know we've had our bags sniffed getting off the ships, where they're looking for contraband. So, you know, just because we might have, you know, legal rights to things here in the United States doesn't mean we do abroad. So when we go to, you know, Europe or Grand Turk or you know, any of the other, you know, Mexico on a cruise ship, we have to make sure we're in compliance.
Well, not just that. Some places you have to be careful of your attire.
Camouflage shorts.
This right here.
Yeah, you know, there are some countries in the Caribbean where if you are wearing camouflage,
It could be mistaken for camouflage.
It could be mistaken for camouflage. It's considered a military invasion. So, yeah.
They really don't like that.
No. So, you know, yeah, I take my camouflage. Oh, I'm not wearing them now. I take my camouflage shorts on trips with me sometimes, but I make sure that when I get off the ship, that I'm not wearing anything that would be considered, you know, controversial. But like I said, you know, us as Americans, we believe that, you know, our rights are our rights, but when you go into somebody else's country, that isn't the case anymore. Yes, we're Americans, but our laws only pertain to us here. When we go abroad, we are under their law, and you know what they say goes. So don't find yourself in a Turkish prison to prove a point. You don't want to have any part of it. So other things that could be considered contraband, a lot of cruise lines now are not allowing drones on board. Some of the ports will not allow you to fly your drone at the port. And I believe Cozumel, Mexico is one of them who is cracking down on that as well.
I think we saw a sign there.
Yeah. So, you know, the cruise lines do not allow you to have that on board in a lot of cases. I won't say all cruise lines, but none of them want you to, you know, have your drone flying around while you're at sea. You know, it's a safety hazard. And I remember, you know, radio controlled devices being on that list of things that you should not be using while on board because it could interfere with ship navigation or something along that line. So that's something else to think about. You know, when you get on board a ship, anything that you might think is something you need might be something that you need to double check. You know, they don't allow you to bring bottled water on board. And that seems crazy. You know, you might be somebody who uses a CPAP and you need that distilled water for your CPAP. Well, you can't bring that water with you unless you have permission to do so. Now, I know they do allow you to purchase. Some of the cruise lines allow you to purchase on board. Some, you know, will allow you to bring your supplies like that. But really, you know, check with the cruise line. I can tell you, Carnival Cruise Lines has a section on their website that goes through all of what is considered contraband and what's considered, you know, something you can't bring. We found out on a recent Norwegian cruise that you can't bring any soda or wine on board with you. Like on Carnival, you can bring a 12-pack of soda per person and a bottle of wine or a bottle of champagne. Well, Norwegian doesn't allow that. So they would confiscate that. So whatever cruise line you're traveling, whatever area of the world you're traveling in, make sure you're in compliance with what needs to happen, or you may not be allowed to cruise. So just keep in mind that, you know, there are differences between cruise lines. There are differences between countries, between islands, between states here in the United States. Same thing about, you know, legal marijuana in Colorado and places like that. There are only, I want to say, 17 states in which marijuana is legal. I don't know if anybody realizes that, but that's not the entire United States. When you cross from one border into another border, you may go from being in compliance to being an outlaw. So make sure you know where it is you're doing. Same thing with bringing a firearm on board. It's a no-no. You cannot do it. Under the maritime laws, it's not allowed. That's to my knowledge. So, you know, there's different things that you have to make sure that when you're going on a cruise that you're in compliance with what you need to be, so you can get aboard and enjoy your vacation. You don't want to end up in jail like this poor guy in Grand Turk. Can you imagine?
No, I could not imagine. Nope.
So-
And it's all probably just an accident. He missed it when he was packing his luggage, and now look.
Yeah. So that's pretty much all we got for this video. You deserve.
You deserve a great vacation.
Let Blue Planet get you there. Thanks.
Bye for now.